Unfortunately, they call them the reject.
The flowers that we use here in Kenya.
Yeah,
maybe they should find a new name.
They should.
But what they say is those ones have been rejected at international standards.
Yes.
So they export the best.
The best, and then we keep the rest.
Hey everybody, my name is Angie Morenga. You're watching Just Angie. It's Lifestyle Thursday. I have an amazing guest in studio. First of all, do you like the way the studio looks? This is as a result of my amazing guest, Lillian from Floral Arts, Kenya, and I'm sure it's going to be a global brand.
Amen.
So, amen. This is where we discuss all things lifestyle. Thank you for making us look beautiful. This is absolutely amazing, and I know they're going to show pictures of the amazing things that you've done in Kenya to do with flowers and to do with art. But first, we want to know, who is Lillian?
Lillian is a child of God. She's a mother of 2.
Yes.
And a daughter to my dad, my mom, and then a sibling to 5 of us in the family, actually 6 of us in the family. And then I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a business lady, and I'm, who is Lillian, a floral designer.
Amen.
Yeah, but above all, a child of God, because this time that's how I want to do it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you know, I've got so many stories reeling through my head about what we can discuss with you, because in the short time that I've known you, it's been amazing. But you know what I was reflecting on this morning? Is that when I didn't know you, you did the flowers for my wedding. Amazing. I thought about this. I didn't know you, but I remember I'd been given an option. I think there were 2 shops, one in Sarit, and this other one was near Post Bank.
Yes.
And I just don't know why. But I was not born again. I did not know Jesus, but I just felt that I wanted to go with your shop, and it was a sibling, brother and sister. So I'm amazed. I was like, wow, that's a long time ago, and I didn't know her, and I didn't know I'd get to know her. But maybe that's a good place to start. It seems that flowers have been in your life. You actually told me from your was your grandfather?
My grandfather, yes.
So please take us through that journey.
Yeah. As I take you to through that journey, let me say that one of the things I believe God has been doing is He connected us before we even knew.
Imagine.
Yeah. He connected me with you, and also with the other person who brought me into the KBS.
Is it Dorcas?
Dorcas, the KBS family, because I also did her wedding.
Yes. Oh,
and
really?
And that's how we became friends, actually, and we worked together for a long time. So I believe it was God. God was in this.
It was definitely God.
And there's one thing that will come out later. I always asked myself when I was in business, when I was in Post Bank, I always asked myself, where are the Christians who do business? Because the language was so different. I was born again, and I felt there was a lot that was really coming against me. I didn't know where to run. And right now, with the season we're going through, I'm discovering that God is. The other day, I was doing my devotion, and like God was telling me, now you're going to become that person that people can go to and ask, how is kingdom business done?
Yes.
Yeah. So it started a while before I was even born. My grandfather from my dad's side was taught how to plant flowers by the white settlers then. He took over planting flowers and planting grass. My grandmother would take the flowers and bring them to town and sell them to the flower shops in town and the city market, yes. And from my dad's family, imagine, it's only my dad who took
the flower
the flower business. A few of my aunts helped on and off, but my dad carried on.
So he's the one child now
presently,
who picked it up, and until today is doing it.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was born into a family where flowers were being grown. My dad bought a shop, the shop in town, in 1967.
The one that was at that Post Bank Plaza
downstairs.
Bank, yes.
Yes.
In 1967.
And that was the
I was 1 year old.
Yes, and that was the same year I was born.
Wow.
And it's amazing that after I went through a KU, graduated as a teacher, taught for 2 years, and I felt, oh, I couldn't. One day I went home and my parents were discussing the shop, and they were like, we want to close the shop. We don't have anybody to run. I told them, I want the shop. I'm going to run it, and that's how I came into business. But also, as we were growing up and we closed school, I would be the tea girl in the flower shop. In 1980, my dad started the other shop at Sarit Center.
Okay.
Yeah, and my mom moved there. She's passed on.
Poor lady.
Yeah.
Rest her soul in peace.
Amen. I again became the tea girl. I would close school, go serve, and this went on for quite some time. And some would find that some would have so many customers in the shop and nobody to serve them, and I would be called out, come and serve the client. And that's how I started doing flower arranging. Wow. So went to KU, was posted, taught for 2 years, then I left and I started the flower shop in town, and I had known how to do flowers.
How had you known?
I had just watching
Observing
from other people, yeah.
Okay.
But then I got to know that there were flower arranging lessons going on, and I applied, and
So you learned.
I learned how to do it professionally, yeah, how to do it professionally, and then I began the job
Of now running that shop,
yeah,
and then you do events, because like for me, you did my wedding.
Yes.
Dorcas, you said you did her wedding, so you just get weddings to do. And where do you source the plants? Because first you said your grandfather used to plant them, and then your grandmother would go and sell them. So did you continue that business? Do you have to source from other people? Are you still in the business of planting flowers?
What happened was my dad continued planting flowers, but that was never enough for the flower shop. So now we had the flower shop in town and the other one in Westlands.
Yeah. At Sarit, yeah?
At Sarit Center, yeah. And by that time, my grandfather was not the only person who was taught how to do flowers. There were other, in that whole area in Kiambu, there were a number of them, his age mates, who were taught how to do flowers. So we had all these people bring the flowers into the city market.
Okay.
Their children now, their children's children.
The next generation.
The next generation, yes. And then flower farms had also come up, and we would buy the flowers from the city market, where all the flower farms, not all, but most of the flower farms bring their, unfortunately they call them the reject.
The flowers that we use here in Kenya.
Yeah,
maybe they should find a new name.
They should.
But what they say is those ones have been rejected at international standards.
Yes.
So they export the best.
The best, and then we the rest, anything else that's not acceptable. And it could be just a slight disease, or the size was not right of the flower, or the stem was too short. So that, and that's what we get up till today. In the flower market.
So you seem to have a problem with that. You want us to get the best and not the rejected, not to
We'll
export.
get there, and especially, so I've been in the industry for over about 20 years.
Okay.
Now, I got into the flower business because I was passionate about it. And I made a mistake because the reason why I made a mistake, I can say I made a mistake, was I did the flower arranging as a passion. Not as a business.
Not as a business.
Yeah.
But you see, it's not actually a mistake, because from that will come forth the desire and the business and the best practices. Because I always say when people go into business, they shouldn't go into business just to make money. You should go into business because you have a passion. Yeah. You want to solve a problem. Like, look at what you've done to this set, you know? The flowers just come and change everything, you know? Make people's weddings beautiful, their birthdays, their funerals, you know, people can put the wreath, you know? It's an expression of a deeper feeling that you help other people express. So I don't think it was a mistake that you went into the business with just a passion. Exactly. I guess now, I think the passion was a good foundation.
Yes, it was.
Then we can learn now how to do the business.
Yeah, and I think what I may be trying to say is I took too long to learn the business aspect of it.
Okay, and that's a good point, because I was going to ask you, what would you want an uprising or upcoming entrepreneur to know? And that's a good place to say. What we want them to know is that you must have the passion, but you must gain the business sense as well to run a business. And I want you to hold that thought. Okay. That was Lifestyle Thursday. Please join us next week so that we can learn more. And I hope you're having a beautiful experience. I just feel like the flowers are just making me happy and joyous, and they've just changed my whole mood. So I love that as well. So God bless you, and see you next Thursday. Bye-bye.